Hello teachers, it's Stephen, and today I'm going to show you how to add email to your iDevices. So as you all know, you each have or have been issued a teacher iPad, and many of you have iPhones. And one of the things that you should understand is that iPads and iPhones have the same basic functionality. Okay, so if you look here, this is a pretty raw iPad. Okay, there's not a whole lot on it. And so what I'm going to draw your attention to here is this settings icon. Now, what you should know is the settings icon might not be there. Okay, if you click and hold an app and they wiggle, you can move them around a little bit. Okay, so this settings icon might be down here in the bar, or it might be buried, okay, in a folder. Okay, so it might not appear right away. So one of the things that I want to draw your attention to, I'm going to put it right here in the middle of the bottom menu, is that this settings icon might not necessarily be the easiest thing to find. Okay, so one thing you can do on an iPad or iPhone is if you take your finger, maybe right here in the middle, okay, that's where I'm going to put mine, and you just pull down, maybe from about here to here, it brings up what's called Spotlight Search. And Spotlight Search lets you search for things on your iPad and actually on the internet. So I'm just going to go ahead and select setting. I'm going to hit set, and it brings up the app on the iPad. And so I'm going to hit settings. And here we go. Here's settings. Now, okay, you'll see there's a lot of different things that you can go through here, but the main thing that I want you to kind of recognize today is basically we're going to be looking at accounts. Okay, so in previous messages I talked about an iCloud account and how important that is, and you should know that your iCloud account, okay, that should be a personal account. Okay, it might say ESM Eagles, but this is what you call your Apple ID, and it's a very specific ID to Apple. Okay, but what we're mostly interested in on this particular screen is this little area, not the iCloud, not iTunes and App Store, but mail, contacts, and calendars. Okay, so we're going to go there. Now, right now, there's no mail accounts. We need to add an account. Okay, I want you to notice some of the options before we add an account. Okay, you can do calendar information, contact information. You can do a signature. Okay, that can be important if you're trying to personalize your email messages. You can choose which accounts are your default accounts, and we'll look at that in just a little bit. Okay, but for the most part, to start and add an account, you go right to the top where it says add account. It's going to give you some options. Very few people really need any options outside of these. Okay, iCloud would be an Apple email, and everyone who has an Apple ID has an iCloud email for the most part. You don't necessarily need to use it. Exchange would be basically kind of a version of Microsoft, like an email. So you might also Outlook would be something very similar. Exchange is sometimes used if you have a more complicated email or a business email through another organization. Google, Yahoo, AOL, these are very common carriers. And if you look at other, you can add them, but you're going to need some real descriptive information, and that's not a route that I would recommend you go. Because you all have been issued a Google Gmail account, that is an online email account through Google, you would select Google. Okay, and all you will have to do to set this account up is put in your email, which will be your first initial, last name at esmeagles.com, and your password, and then you can go ahead and add an email. Now, every once in a great while, your email may malfunction, or we have to change your password for some reason. Maybe you forget it. Every time we have to change your password, you have to update your password in your iPad, iPhone, and any other devices that are connected to that account, including your MacBook. Okay, so it's important that we try not to change that password very often, and if we do have to change that password, that we go through and update all your devices immediately so that you do not have a backlog in emails or a failure to communicate, or maybe just an oversight that can cause you headaches later down the road. So that's one of the things that's very important. So if you want to add an email to your iPhone or iPad, or iPad mini or any Apple mobile device, that is the way to go about doing it. Okay? Now, when you put that information in, you'll be asked if you want to sync things like notes and contacts, and I would recommend doing that because then all of the information that's stored with that account will be accessible on your device, and you will find that you'll have a more seamless interaction on your computer, iPhone, iDevice, etc. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Otherwise, thanks for watching.